I started the magazine as a hobby or as a zine, right? So we never really tried much to do much with it. It was just sort of like one of those things you start and you hopefully you can keep it going. Who knew I was gonna like open a shop and I was gonna grow into so many other things like an art gallery and more. So that was kind of how it all began. The shop's opened in 2001. In the beginning, I think it was more sparse, you know, like it was like a artier shop, I guess, like a very East Coast, New York style boutique. Cleaner white walls, just seriously curated items, but maybe it's because we just couldn't afford to put more things in it. But then over time, you know, just you kind of grow organically into your situations. Just personally, as I was getting older, I was getting into art, and I started just meeting a lot of young artists at the shop, and I'm thinking how great they were and how they didn't have to be famous to be artists. So I think that was kind of part of how it turned into making an art gallery. There's so many little lessons in what a postage show is. It's got a really good reputation. People love it. People wait in line overnight. It's just a lot of fun, and it's also democratic. It's one of those things where you get really famous people, and you also get students, and having that mix is kind of very much our space. My parents actually met on this street somewhere in the 60s, and I mean, they lived in this area. My dad worked at a gas station just up the street. That's not there anymore, but it was like a Japanese American owned gas station. And this area used to be heavily Japanese American. The Japanese American community here has been here since like the 30s. I remember my landlord, who was an old Japanese American woman, and she wanted to be the first customer, and she was actually the second. I can't remember what she bought. Maybe it was a t-shirt, something like that. Yeah, she was probably like 80 something, and she just was trying to support us. So, I mean, who has cool landlords? It's kind of rare, and we have very cool landlords. I think the kind of art and illustration I like is headquartered here in LA. Like the art I like, this illustration art, and maybe there's a lot of different associated styles. I mean, there's graffiti art, right? And then there's like they call it lowbrow, like art. There's all these different names for them, but LA is the center for all of these things. I would think it'd be in another city like New York or something, but absolutely not. It's here. I think the long-term plan is just to keep surviving and keep promoting artists and having my eye on hopefully interesting and dynamic products. I mean, I think that's kind of more what I'm into, but that's the only kind of goals I have. It's sort of like that. So things can change. I think that's the randomness is kind of the same thing as what happens, you know, in LA. Things change and places change, and I think that's kind of what I have to do too. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, maybe it all works out.